Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for watching Tactical Weapon Combat Ready. In this video, we're going to show you how to do a complete upper receiver assembly with upper parts kit and with the barrel assembly. So, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go and start with the dust cover first. So what we're going to be doing is we need to make sure that we are lining up these holes here. This rod is going to be going in there all the way through, but we need to get this C-clamp on first. And so when we are looking at the dust cover rod, we can see that little cutout right here. That's where this is going to go. Then when you get it in, it's not lined up very well. Okay, once we get it, I may have to start this off camera. All right, so here we go. We got it on. And what this is going to do is it's going to prevent the guide rod from slipping out the back. So it would go in like this. So we have that C-clamp right here, and it allows it to go all the way back, and then it'll stop right there. So it won't be able to slide through. And then once you put the barrel nut on, that's going to prevent it from sliding out this way. All right, so we have that on. Let's go ahead and get our dust cover on. Now when we put this on, we're going to put it on like this, so the locking detent pin should be visible. We should see the whole housing. We shouldn't see this flat part, so it should be down like this. We're going to put that guide rod through, and then we're just going to put it through about halfway through this opening, and then that's where this spring comes in. And with this, I've seen some where it hasn't been loaded, but I usually load the spring. I don't know if that's the correct terminology or not, but that's just what I do. So what I'll do is I'll grab it, and then I'm going to spin it like this. So now it's got tension on it, and then I'm going to line it up on that rod and push it in and through. Okay, so here we have the small end of the spring, and then we have the long end of the spring sitting in that groove right there. So now we have that tension, and it's going to pop open. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and do the forward assist. Now this is where it would be nice to put it in a vise block, but again, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to use this tool either, which this is a really nice little platform to use, but many of you may not have that, so I'm going to go ahead and start this without it. All right, so we have our retaining pin right here, and then what we want to do is we want to start to get that seated in there so it stays on its own. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to insert the forward assist and the spring. Now with the forward assist, we want this little 50-degree notch right here. 90-degree notch. Okay, let me get this so I can point it out better. This notch right here. Okay, we want that to line up with that pin. So we have our retaining pin, then our notch right there. So we'd go in like this, and then that pin is going to hold the assembly in. Okay, but we want this spring in first, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and I'm going to make sure I have that lined up. And then we're going to depress that all the way in. And then now we go there. And sometimes when you're at this point, you may need to twist this a little bit because you may be off just a bit. Now this is where we're going to get one of these punch pins, and we are going to finish tapping it in all the way. See, so now here I'm just going to use this tool just real quick to show you. So that's where this would come in handy and be really nice if you have one. Or if you have a vise block, then you can use that as well. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this pin to flush almost with this thicker punch pin, and then I'm going to go to a smaller one and then finish it off. All right, and then that would do it. So we have a now completed upper receiver. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to put the barrel extension into the receiver. Now you can actually do it this way, where we just do the barrel first. It just goes right in here. So we see we have this little notch cut out on the upper receiver. And then we have this little pin extending out on top here. So that is going to perfectly line up the barrel. So we don't need to do any timing or shifting on this barrel. It's going to slide right in there and it's going to be a perfect fit. We're going to put that in. Now, right now you can do a couple of different things. We can do nothing on these threads, which I've seen plenty of rifles that were really good performing rifles that didn't have anything. You can put some Loctite on there if you're wanting to make sure that that barrel nut does not come off. Or the most common thing, let me turn this up a little bit more. The most common thing is to get some kind of anti-seize grease on here if you're planning on removing this barrel and swapping it out with a different barrel. So the anti-seize grease, there's several different brands and several different types with different chemicals or ingredients in them. Some people say that one version works better than the other. I don't have a preference. So we're not really going to go over all that today. But there is the anti-seize grease that you should look into if this is what you're wanting to do. I'm not going to put any on this one because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, if I'm going to keep it in this caliber or this barrel length. So I'm not going to put anything on it for the video. Okay, so we now want to put the barrel nut on. Okay, so we get that on hand tight. And we're going with our handy dandy torque wrench here. And I have it set for 45 pounds. Okay, there we go. You can go, I've had people say that they do theirs up to 60 pounds and even past that. But that does seem kind of like overkill to me. So 45 pounds is usually what I do mine at. And I've never had any of these come off. And I've built over 500, I believe now, custom builds here. Okay, so there's that. Let's go on. Now we have our gas block that we're going to install. This is a low profile gas block, and many of the barrels that you're going to buy are built for a low profile gas block. Now you'll see right here, this is a little notch dimple. Can you, hello? Okay, a little dimple drilled in right there. And so the gas block is actually going to line up with that. So you should be able to perfectly line up the gas block. Oh, hold on, the gas block with the gas port right here in the barrel. So here's our low profile gas block. So when we insert this back a hole right here is going to match up with that dimple, and then we'll be able to put our set screws in, and then it'll actually seat into that dimple and then lock it in a little bit better. Okay, now when we do that, we are going to want to use, I've done it where it's just been blue Loctite. Again, if it's something where I'm like, oh, I'm thinking I might switch something out, I don't want it to be permanent. If you're pretty confident that this isn't going to be changed or converted into something else, you can go ahead and put red Loctite on there, but you do need to put some kind of Loctite on it. Otherwise, as you're shooting, those are going to start to vibrate and then work themselves out, and then the gas block will be able to shift and move over, and then that won't be a good day for you because it won't cycle the spent round and feed in the new one. All right, so now we can see where we have that dimple lined up with that first set screw hole. So this one, you can see it's seated down a little bit further, while this one is sticking up a little bit higher. So that means that we did get it into that dimple, and it's going to be locked in really good. All right, now we're going to put the muzzle device on. Now, with this step, you could do, if you put your handguard on first, in many cases that's going to be fine. But in this case, my handguard is longer than my barrel, so we don't want to do it the handguard first, because now I can't get my armorer's wrench into this section and actually tighten it up. Okay, so we want the handguard off. So, but it just depends on what you have. So if you have a handguard that's shorter and it's going to cut off right here, then you have plenty of room to do all your stuff. Okay, so we are going to get our locking washer. Okay, and then as we do this, this is called timing the muzzle device. So, and what we want is we want these ports to be facing up. Okay, right now we can see these ports. They're actually, let me change the angle right here. Okay, so they are not facing straight up. I just hand tightened them, and they're kind of facing this way at this angle a little bit. Okay, so that means if I were to try to tighten it up right now with my armorer's wrench, okay, then I'm going to have to go all the way around, and that's going to smash that crush washer, the locking washer. And if you do that too much, it's going to smash it so much that it's actually going to make it expand. And if you're ever going to take this off again, that washer may not come off without you having to like cut it and rip it off, because then it becomes too big, and you won't be able to get it on and off. Okay, so if that is what is happening, what you want to do is you want to start looking into something like this. These are spacing timing shims. So you put these on first, and then that creates a little bit more distance between the shoulder of the barrel and the washer. So now if we do that, now we can see, now those ports are pointed off in this direction. Okay, so now we can tighten that up. Typically for me, I don't ever like to have it more than a quarter turn. But if it's halfway, that's where I'm kind of like, oh, okay, I can do it. If it's 3/4, I probably won't do it. And then if it's all the way like this, where it's almost a full turn, I don't want to do that at all. Okay, so let's go and tighten this one down. And we want to make sure that it's lined up straight up and down. All right, so now let's go and put that handguard on. Okay, with this type of handguard, this is just a free float handguard. These ones are typically the easiest ones to install, because basically what's happening is it's just going to clamp on to that barrel nut. Okay, so we just slide it on, and when we get to here, we do want to try to create a little bit of a space in between the upper receiver and the handguard. That way there's some room for it to move and flex a little bit. You can't go all the way up against it, but there are some times where if you push it too far, then this part right here actually gets in the way of the lower and upper receiver actually connecting together. So I always just say, give it a little bit of a gap, nothing super, super big, just a tiny one. All right, now as we are putting these in, you want to make sure that you tighten them to where they're snug first on each one, and make sure that you are paying attention to the alignment of the handguard, because you don't want to tighten it and then all of a sudden at the very end when you feel like you're done, the handguard is off-centered. So I'll usually pinch it like this and just use my fingers to make sure it's flush on the sides right here. Okay, so I put that one in snug, but I didn't go super tight on that. And then I'm going to put this one in and go snug on this. That way they kind of start working together to clamp on. I haven't done it, but I've had customers who have tried to do it, and they just tightened one all the way down and then ended up snapping this clamping part on the handguard because I think they put it on the first one, so it just made it clamp. So here's the gap. It made it clamp like this, and then it ended up torquing it and then snapping it off versus cinching them down and making it kind of come together like this and get closer and closer like that. So now I'm back onto the front one, making it snug, then back on that one. And you kind of just keep doing this until it clamps all the way down. And some of them, you don't want it to clamp all the way down. You just want to make sure that it is tight and it's not going to allow any shifting. Okay, so right there feels pretty good. Well, there it is, a completed AR-15 upper receiver with the upper parts kit and handguard and barrel installation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you later.